Hi Roxanne, thank you for sharing your story with us. So you are 34 weeks pregnant.
Yes.
And you've got a 3-year-old.
I've got a 3-year-old.
And tell us what happened to your hand.
So I was putting a bottle of wine in the fridge in the door, and I closed it to see if it would fall, and it fell. And as it fell, I went to grab it, and the glass bounced up and cut my finger open.
Okay, so your thumb.
Yes.
Okay, so you ruptured your FPL tendon, or
Yes.
lacerated it. I'm not ruptured.
Tendon and my nerve.
And the nerve. And it was tricky for you because you're 34 weeks pregnant, so you actually had 3 surgical opinions.
So when I went to casualty, I was told it's swelling, you'll be fine. And then when I went for the follow-up, I said to him, listen, I can't move it. Then I was sent to a plastic surgeon. That plastic surgeon said, you need to make up your own mind, do it now or do it when baby comes. But the longer you wait, the worse it becomes to fix. And I went to another hand specialist that my cousin referred. Then he suggested to do it sooner than later, but then I had medical aid issues. Then I landed up with my current surgeon, and yeah, I said, okay, I'm doing it tomorrow. I saw him on the Tuesday, went in on the Wednesday, did the operation, and I'm glad I did it now and not when baby comes.
And they did a nerve block, so you were
Yes,
awake.
So they injected me here, they put local here, and they put local in my wrist, and I didn't feel anything.
Okay, super. So let's check your motion. All right, so bend for me.
So I couldn't bend my finger at all.
And now straighten and bend and straighten. Okay. So as I was explaining to you, you need to be safe. You've got a 3-year-old. So and obviously you're quite nervous with everything that's happened,
Yes.
right? And we've got 4 weeks. Are you going to have a C-section? Yes, we've got 4 weeks to get you to a point where you're really good.
Yeah.
So with FPL injuries, what can happen is that you can get quite scarred up, particularly this is a delayed repair. And down the line, sometimes at 2 weeks or at 3 weeks, if that's happening to a patient, we use a technique called the casting motion to mobilize stiffness technique. So what I've decided to do for you today is to put you straight into that cast. And you're going to be mobilizing within that, which is going to keep you very safe and warm. And then we can look and see where you're at in 2 weeks' time.
Perfect.
So in this image, you can see her immediate post-op hand. And this was her motion after the surgery. You can see that she's really struggling to access her thumb FPL to move her IP joint. And she's predominantly moving the MP joint. And then the next image shows the wound looking a little bit better once it had been cleaned. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to put this on here. And we don't need to worry about your wound being in plaster of Paris. For millennia, patients have been in plaster of Paris post-op. Okay, now we take our cotton padding. Good.
So you still move it in the cast?
Yeah, that's the whole idea of this cast, is that we move it.
With a safety precaution.
So the precaution is that you're not going to extend your thumb.
Oh, okay.
That's the only precaution. But from where we're going now into flexion, that's what you do. Okay. But what we're going to do is we need to block you here so that we direct the motion to the IP joint.
Okay.
So we don't need to bend this joint at this stage.
Bend that top piece.
Just that piece. So we're just going to secure you in that. So my cotton padding is guiding me, but that looks perfect. Happy?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm happy with that. So we always use room temperature water, and then
And that's what plaster of Paris.
yes, this is plaster of Paris. So I'm starting here. You'll just feel very secure, and also what I like about it is you can't take it off.
Yeah.
Because when patients have a splint, it's uncomfortable, or it slips, or it moves. This
Like
won't
having
work.
the sling.
Yeah.
It when.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You don't need a sling. And do you have a boisterous daughter?
She just wants me to pick up. Yes. She's boisterous.
Yes. Every 3-year-old is boisterous. So you're totally safe in this cast. And you're out of the woods. So you're lucky you timed this injury well.
How
For
long
baby
is this?
arrives.
Is on for 2 weeks, you said?
So look, it's 12 weeks before you fully recovered, but we only need to wear this. Yeah, so we're going to start with 2 weeks, then we'll make it removable. We can provide you with a step down splint at that stage if necessary. But 4 weeks of protected movement, but 12 weeks of a graded program after that. Okay. So the secret to a good cast is movement, and we've got your wrist in neutral. We're not doing anything with the wrist. You'll feel very, very comfy in this. This is going to come down. Then we're going to make a little back slab for your thumb here.
Stop from going up.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, so we'll just do a piece that's that long.
What made you want to be a hand therapist?
My final year lecture at university was a hand therapist, and I thought I'm going to just be exactly like her. And then I just like the fact that all my patients are well, and then we've got really clear goals to achieve, and we achieve them. I'm not, it's with the science that we apply and the techniques we use, we can fix people quite quickly, which is nice. You can get on with your life, you know?
Yeah, there's nothing worse than not having the mobility you had before.
Yes.
keep your scissors sharp.
These have lasted me 15 years. I've never had to sharpen them. It's
Really?
amazing. What work do you do?
I have a nursery school.
Oh my goodness, are you obviously going to work or you're on leave at the moment?
I'm the boss, so I can come and go.
Okay, so even more reason to put you in a cast.
Yeah.
You don't just have one boisterous child at home.
Yeah, I have a lot.
You have a lot.
Shame, when I walked in today, they're like, what happened to your arm?
Where is your nursery school?
In Alberton.
Okay. A lot of people phone me from Alberton. Page that lady here before, she's...
But I think I googled hand therapist Alberton and you came up. Maybe that's why.
Oh.
So not quite Alberton, but...
Okay. Let's just see what's going on here. Okay, just lift that. Yes. And then we seal this all together once I'm happy with it. Okay. Fingers are totally free and safe. Move them for me.
So this, like I battled to pull it all the way back, is that normal?
Yes, we'll work on that. We're going to actually make that quite nice and snug. Now, can you move your thumb? Beautiful. Okay. Okay, bend it. Just got to make sure that we haven't flexed your RP joint. Okay, straighten up that finger. Yes. So this hood was too bent, but that's better. Okay, straighten up a bit more. Okay, bend and straighten, and bend and straighten. Lovely. Alright, so now we just seal it. Let's tilt it.
So why would these fingers be stiff all of a sudden?
From when? Yesterday or from the accident?
Operation?
Since operation? Oh, yeah, don't worry. We'll mobilize them now and we'll get them moving.
So I could do that before, or with a stiff finger, and then go halfway down. I don't feel I can get there right now.
Okay, we'll mobilize them before you leave. You'll be able to do that. How's this feel?
So Roxanne was sent home with her cast and her exercises, and I asked her to send me a follow-up video just to make sure she was isolating FPL, but as you can see, she actually wasn't. So then I taught her how to do the blocked range of motion exercises.
Roxanne, we did something different with you where we used the Sims technique immediately post your flexor tendon repair, mainly because you were 33 weeks pregnant.
Yes.
And you live far from me, so you couldn't come for multiple treatment sessions. How did you find the cast?
Protective. It just kept, I could bend my thumb and all of that, but I was restricted to, I guess, snap the tendon again. And having a toddler, it helped because she's very demanding, needing to pick her up all the time, so it assisted with that.
Okay, and do you want to just show us the blocked range you have? So this is an FPL repair with absolutely no hand therapy at all. So your tendon is looking good. However, you're still struggling. So if we can, to isolate that. So if you want to take off your splint. So we're now 4 weeks
post. We've got a bit of swelling. But there you go. You've just got to learn to recruit it. So you've got to learn to extend that MP joint and then recruit. Yeah, so it's a little bit of a cognitive thing. Let's tape you and see if we can get better recruitment. All right, so we've used some kinesio tape to lift the scar over the carpal tunnel and provide a few things with the thumb. So we are reducing the edema with web cuts on that side. I'm just giving some stability to the MP joint, and I'm encouraging motion of the FPL. So let's have a look at your movement. There we go. Does that feel better? This is a brain thumb challenge. You have to connect your brain with your thumb, and you literally have to sit and find that tendon to recruit it. Can you touch your index finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger? Aim to walk down the little finger. Look how beautiful that is. Okay, so those are the exercises I want you to do.
So that I couldn't do before the operation.
No, your tendon's intact, you've just got to find it. All right, so then you can put your splint back on. So you're going to use your hand as much as possible with light activities when dressing your baby, massaging your baby, washing your baby. Get that sensory input. You haven't had it for so long. And then this splint is for protection and for specific blocked range of motion. But it's too easy in this. You have to work it out of it. All right. Roxanne provides us with an excellent example of how the Sims technique is not just for stiff hands. I have reported how I use it post-tendon, flexor tendon rehabilitation, mainly once I've seen that the patients are starting to develop adhesions and then subsequently joint stiffness, and how we're able to work through those adhesions by positioning the patients in an ideal position and then getting them to use constant cyclical repetitive motion in conjunction with the cast that provides this beautiful neutral warmth positioning, and also just constant scar massage, which helps to lift the adhesions off that scarring. So we've seen that happen. However, this was a unique approach whereby we decided to almost use it prophylactically. I think had this patient had a splint and didn't attend therapy, then she would have run into trouble. She definitely would have only recruited her thumb flexors. She would not have recruited FPL, and this would have become an abnormal pattern that she developed. But instead, what we did immediately post-op was we applied the cast so that we could isolate that range of motion to the IP joint. Subsequently, the patient did not rupture the tendon, and she certainly didn't develop any adhesions. Because she was a new mom and I couldn't keep her in a cast for long, we progressed to giving her the thumb spiker splint, which provided the adequate blocking exercises that she needed to do repeatedly to make sure that we maintained her gains. And then I also shifted to using kinesio tape to manage the edema and the scarring and encourage movement in the right direction. So you will see that she was able to give birth to her beautiful little baby boy without fearing the worst, feeling supported, but also getting the right access to the right surgeon. I think had she gone for a 2-stage repair, it would have spelt absolute disaster for her. And she really didn't need to. She could have had a primary repair, even though it was a little bit delayed. And I think simply also because we utilized this technique. So I implore you to use the Sims technique a lot more with your patients. Think about it a lot more with your flexor tendon injuries, and then also with the stiff thumb. So thank you for joining me, and look forward to future episodes of learning.